What's up guys, it's Fozzie here, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having an absolutely stellar day. It's Monday, Champs has passed, you guys know exactly what's coming now. We're going to be going over the 4-4-1-1 custom tactics. If you're new to the channel, it's your first time watching the videos, every single Monday we upload custom tactics videos. So basically, if you guys have had the weekend league, you're looking for something new to play and practice with ahead of the next Foot Champs weekend, or even to get those extra rivals wins in, this is like an alternative tactic you can try out and use and possibly add to your little group of go-to tactics. So I said today we're looking at the 4-4-1-1 formation I looked at last year, and it was actually very good, and I wanted to come back and try it for a couple of weeks. As I had a couple of solo weeks, thought I'd try one formation over that period of time. So basically, if you enjoyed the video, please give a big thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and help me on the content journey. I could get close and do some ASMR, but let's get into the video, guys. We'll go to the squad. You're gonna have to bear with me, we are gutting the club a little bit. We've got ourselves up to about 560,000 coins, still trying to sell some stuff off, just trying to figure out a rebuild. Like Alexis was untradeable, so I want to keep them in the team, so ignore the weird Doris, Romero and Cancelo setup. I did have Varane, Magnan, and who else? Reece James in form at right back when I was using this system. So just for context for you, so the 4-4-1-1, I'm not going to hide the tactics, you guys are going to skip through and steal them anyway. So this is the tactics. 65 depth, which I really like and getting used to. What I am going to try this week is a 3 at the back or 5 at the back on the same depth. They released that Keelan in the SBC. If you missed that, my reactions to it are in the link down below. Basically, it looks a fantastic card. I want him in the team, but I want to try and pair him with Koulibaly and Skriniar. I'm on a 3 at the back, so we're on a balanced. I think when you go through the defensive stuff, go and have a constant pressure one set up if you need to chase a game, but really you're using balance this year. It's just the best go-to. I don't think any of the press ones are too fantastic, but maybe I need to just play with them a bit more. Maybe they'll work on a 5 at the back, you got a bit more security. Build-up play, we're going with my go-to long ball. Really like that this year. Fast build-up and long balls, what I've been bouncing between. Do try balance from time to time. If you don't like the long ball thing, I would just say play balance. Obviously fast build-up means you could lose the ball a bit more, and we'll touch on that in a little bit when I show you the setup. And then also direct passing. I did have it on forward passing for a while, and I will say, for context, I finished rank 2 every week. I did hit the elite division last year. I've not played rivals yet, so I'm still sat in div 2 right now. Whenever I play, we'll say like lower end opponents, the long ball and the forward passing works fantastic. You score goals for fun. When you get to that slightly higher level, it's very easy to read, and that's why I went for the direct passing. I do have 6 players in box. With it being a 4-4-1-1, like the team, well, I've got 65 depth, so they're not too deep, but sometimes you'd maybe find if it wasn't this high, you'd lack for the attacking options when you are in that attacking phase. So I like having 6 on, and then 2 for corners and free kicks is pretty standard for me. Same for the width, 45 is standard, pretty much everything I've used this year. So this is pretty much how we're lining up in game. Werner at right mid is a little bit weird, but I'll explain that in a second. Basically, keeper, nothing changes, they're on default. Same for the centre backs. I'll leave the full backs basically on fully balanced. I think full backs are really crucial this year, and that's why I'm going to try a formation with the wing backs. I think if you get yourself 2 good fullbacks in your team, or even just one that you can attack with, helps a lot on transition play, especially people playing quite narrow formations. This might be a video that comes in next week, but people playing narrow formations, so if you can get a little bit wider, wing backs help with that. It can work absolute wonders for you. So they're all standard, nothing to change there. The left centre mid is normally who I use as my defensive one. So we have Ratty here, who's on stay back and cover centre. Obviously it's a centre mid position, so not a CDM position, which means we don't have as many tactics we can play around with how FIFA is. But stay back and cover centred kept me covered for everything I really needed for him. I am using Tonali here, who is on get into the box, and that's it. What I will say from my experience, and I've used multiple different teams in this system over the past 2 weeks, I will say both Verratti and Tonali have the medium attacking and high defensive work rates, and for a system like this it doesn't work that well. The only saving grace is that Tonali does seem to get forward a bit more anyway. Even when using him as an all-out CDM alongside Vidal, I found Tonali still would just get up the pitch a little bit more, but I'd say I have used Vidal, who's high, and he works so much better in this position. Tonali was in the team for chemistry and links really, but I would say have someone like Verratti, and then just have an unreal box-to-box play in this right centre mid position. Have them on get into the box. You can try them on free roam if you want. I felt for the 4-4-1-1, I didn't like free roam quite as much, so just get into the box. If you ever get to the stage where you feel like the attack's taking, like if you're using these tactics, you feel the attack's taking a little bit like too long, just put them on get forward, but keep in mind you have 6 players getting into the box, so there is going to be a little bit of an overload when you are attacking at certain points. Zaniolo is playing the, I believe it's a centre forward in this setup, because we can put them in getting behind, and this is the key things. This is the normal 4-4-1-1, just to flick back to it. If I go to the 4-1, the second variant of it, it doesn't change much, but you can see the striker and the centre forward just drop back that a little bit, and that basically means that rather than being a striker and a centre forward, as I've lost the formations, rather than being a striker and a centre forward, it's a striker and a cam, which limits obviously your cams. You can put get into the box and stay forward and free roam, and that's about it. You can't put the getting behind. So for Zaniolo, I find it's weird this year with some players. Some players do it, some don't. Some players drift into certain positions just naturally. Even if you play full balance, they'll just still drift. Zaniolo seems to like drifting out to the left hand side if you don't put him on stay central. I don't know what it is, it just happens. I'm going to try to play him as a left sided player next, and maybe that will work even better, because his return has been nuts. I will show you that in a second. But stay central and get him behind, and I think for anyone who's using centre forward, this is what you want. Basically what I found, and this was the same thing last year, your centre forward is probably going to be the person that gets the most goal scoring opportunities. And you may be looking at me wondering why I got Zaniolo there, not Genoa. I just like Zaniolo, trying to get some goals with him. That was about it. But they're really good in the link-up play. You can do lots of L1 passes with them, and also if you're heading up to, say, Genoa, and then Zaniolo's making the run. That's kind of how it works. So, and then Genoa is on stay forward and getting behind again, feeding into that. They're going to be on the stay forward, and then the centre forward is going to be able to run into play and work with them. And I did change the striker to get in behind, because when I had it on standard, they just didn't get involved in the play enough. They weren't creating as many opportunities as they should, and Genoa worked fantastic here, because that 5-star is just tidy, and that's why Werner is on the right mid. We had been using Werner as a striker, we had Kulu on the right, and we had Genoa on the left. I just found it hit a stage where I needed the 5-star up front. Werner wasn't cutting it. He's got the 4-star weak for 3-star skills. He didn't. There's a lot relies on your striker and centre forward in this system, is what I can say. You want 2 great players there, so that's a crucial thing. The right mid's on cut inside, getting behind, and then the left mid is just on getting behind. So some of the tactics are pretty normal, but I just think this formation is not used that much. For me, I like what it provides. I think it can be good defensively if you don't stretch yourself too much and go a bit wild. I will say you can get counter-attacked easier on this formation, which is why I'm saying people might want to play balanced rather than maybe long ball doesn't, or fast build up. Just play balanced if you struggle defensively. But across the board, I thought it was a pretty solid formation. Like I said, I used it for 2 weeks. Wasn't playing quite as much, but if I was able to play not as much and still get the same sort of results, that bodes well for a formation. So that's my 4-4-1-1. Give it a try this week. Let me know in the comments down below or on Twitter. Just let me know how you get on with it. And real quick, I just want to know, Werner should be getting an upgrade to 90 very soon. They won the last 3 games, which means he's got a 3 out of 4 requirement, and they're going to get out of the group. He's going to go to 90 rated, and he's already got this goal return for me, which is nuts. I need to stop looking at my recording, actually at my camera to you guys. The goal return's nuts. I think when he goes to 90 rated, he's going to be really good. He's probably going to go back to my bench this week. I like using different players. I've packed lots of untradeable Premier League players like Son, Varane, and Robbo, but Werner's just going to be a super sub for me. Gino's return hasn't been as good because I was using him wide, but I'm starting to transition to him being in the striker position, and I'm probably going to use a 2-striker setup this week with Ginola on the left hand side. So we'll see what comes from that. But yeah, he's a good card. He's a little bit clunky at times, which is why some people use the engine, because he does have the lower balance, but fantastic card. And then Zaniolo, who he was playing a centre forward in this system for me, but before that, I'd say for about half the games played, he was an attacking centre mid for me. This card, I know he's 3-star, and people don't like that, and he's 6'3", so he's a little bit heavier, but he's such a good card. I think it's one of those ones. I did it because of Sport Roma, so of every Roma SPC is being completed. A lot of people looked at him and were like, oh, okay, maybe not the best player. It doesn't have traits outside of flair. He's 3-star, a high medium. You might not want him. as an attacking cam, even attacking centre mid, and like as a centre forward, he's been fantastic for me. I'm actually tempted to try him in a 3-5-2 at left midfield. Obviously he's left footed, his passing is pretty damn good, and he's also got okay defending stats. His stamina's a little bit low, so I'll have to sub him off, but I think that's where I'm going to try him next. Great card, you missed out if you didn't complete him. And that's me for today's video, guys. As I said, if you enjoyed it, thumbs up, new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. That's everything for me today. Make sure you follow my Twitter and my TikTok. My Twitter, when 6 PM comes, that's where I post rather than doing a 10-minute video discussing the content, I kind of just put tweets out and say my opinion on them. I think that works quite well. You guys can let me know if you like that or if you prefer videos, but it's just my way to get my opinion across real quick on the content and not waste 10 minutes of your time. And then we also make some TikToks on it that are pretty cool. We're learning how TikTok works, so if you can come just let me know your opinions on that, that would be great. I'll see you next video, guys. Have a good one. Goodbye.